Tonight, on a special edition of Lost in the Files, we explore the Nintendo Wii Iceberg. What deep secrets lie surrounding this revolution of gaming, from the sky to the deep abyss? So, this system isn't quite like the other ones. Nowadays, many look to new tech in order to add more self-worth in an unrealistic society that wants you to paint a perfect image of yourself on social media and flaunt your followers, looks, and tech. Many of the big tech companies do this no favors.
But what if I told you that there was a time when a new piece of technology was released and it wasn't about keeping up with the latest trends due to insecurities about not having the latest phone or otherwise that the pages you follow own. Instead, it was about being a part of a new experience and enjoying this experience with those you care about.
Released in 2006, the launch of the Nintendo Wii was one of the biggest revolutions in all of gaming. Scratch that, technology history. Now, many take for granted just how huge of a deal this thing was. While it is easy to look back on the system for a lack of AAA games compared to its predecessor, or how its tech has aged compared to the competition, this thing wasn't even HD, this console is more than just what you see in retrospective all these years later. No, this was about the experiences and memories it made for all those that got to play it. While Nintendo's decision to make many of the games far more accessible may have hurt replayability, and this strategy couldn't keep longevity going into its next console outing, what it did bring was an experience so unique that everyone wanted to become part of it.
We would like to play.
Having nailed the power of motion controls into fun games that everyone could enjoy, no matter your age or hobbies, could lead to so many new memories that gaming has never seen before. It's reminiscent of the trends of Atari and Nintendo in the 80s, when they were marketed more like they were literally a gateway to the future.
What will the future bring from Nintendo?
Into the tops, begin the count. Use the force. It's coming too fast. It's flames! Wait! My shields are gone! Alright! I'm going in!
Oh, some game, huh?
Some game!
Nintendo didn't just bring a new system. They brought new moments that you would love and hopefully look back on with fond memories, and at the end of the day, isn't that what it is all about? With that said, let's talk about the Iceberg trend and what this video exactly is. Icebergs have become a very popular way in recent years on the internet of sharing interesting pieces of knowledge from the history of many things, from Disney to restaurants, TV stations, games, mythology, theme parks, and even Google Maps. What these videos do is compile a plethora of pieces of trivia, obscure history, rumors, mysteries, and otherwise into a unique format. For example, the top of the theoretical iceberg has the more general obscure trivia, whereas the lower you go, things tend to get more creepy and borderline conspiracy theory level type subjects. Take for example if this was a Pixar iceberg. You would start on the sky discussing the hidden references to other Pixar movies throughout WALL-E. But once you got to the bottom of the iceberg, you'd be talking about the conspiracy about how every Pixar movie exists in the same universe and some of the movies are post-apocalyptic. Yeah, you get a variety of stuff here.
For this video, we have decided to create our own iceberg chart, an attempt to focus on the more interesting and obscure topics surrounding this little white box and the lasting impact it left behind it.
Nintendo Wi-Fi Connection and Wii Connect 24 were online services Nintendo offered during this era. Using these, players could do various things such as play with people from around the world, see the weather, and download retro games off this online store called the Wii Shop channel. The reason this is on here is because you actually can't experience this anymore through traditional means. Nintendo's online services during this era were surprisingly discontinued earlier than expected in 2014, with the sequel system, the Wii U, already on the market. Some speculate that this could have been due to Nintendo using a third-party company to help them develop the internet services. Golden Wii. Have you ever heard about how the Queen of England has a Wii made out of real gold? Well, no. It was actually a massive publicity stunt formulated by game publisher THQ. In 2009, it was reported that the Queen had been sent their new game, Big Family Games, as well as a Wii that was literally made out of gold. While this definitely made a few headlines, it was very likely that the Queen never used this or even saw it, as everything sent to her has to go through her correspondence team first, and for security reasons, it would not have been accepted. So as the story goes, it was sent back to one of THQ's offices, without there being a follow-up story of what actually ended up happening. So as far as the public knew, the Queen was playing Big Family Games on her golden Wii. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the news industry, where headlines mean more than the truth. However, the story doesn't end there, as after THQ was shut down in 2013, the very expensive gold system would find itself in the hands of a game console collector named Donnie, who is from the Netherlands. He also owns the golden Wiimote, but the nunchuck's whereabouts remain a mystery. Those who have played Wii Sports are probably plenty familiar with Matt. He is one of the more challenging opponents in the Wii boxing game. Due to his more challenging nature and Wii Sports being one of the best-selling games of all time, this Mii would achieve meme status on the internet, gracing timelines with his presence. Prepare yourself, because he has arrived.
Saying prayers in the street light.
Project M is a fan mod of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and is perhaps one of the most famous mods ever made for a video game. The mod makes Brawl more like its GameCube iteration, Super Smash Bros. Melee, complete with faster gameplay and other changes that are more at home for actual professional tournaments held for the game. The game also features new costumes and stages. While this game would be a catalyst for what fan mods could be, fans were devastated in 2015 to see that all download links on the site were removed. While there have been conflicting statements made over the years, it is highly speculated that it was due to fear of legal issues with Nintendo. However, in November of 2020, the site would see a new update allowing fans to download Project M again. This was to bring awareness to the #SaveSmash movement and tell Nintendo about how important fan mods are to their fans. Nintendo has gained a reputation over the years for removing fan-made games. Pizza channel. So did you know that you could order a pizza on your Wii? In a pre-Uber Eats world, there was a Japan-exclusive channel called the Food Delivery Channel. You could order your favorite pizza from a nearby company and have it delivered right to your door. What a bizarre concept. I've been through the food industry and I don't know how this would work on their end. However, I thought I'd take the liberty of actually giving it a try. I think that's the pizza guy. What?
Why, hello there! It's me, Mario, here delivering your pizza from the finest restaurant in the Mushroom Kingdom.
What?
That's right, Mario's here and accepts your payment in cash or credit.
How much are they paying you to do this, man?
What are you talking about? I'm none other than the real Super Mario. I stomp on the Koopa, I save the princess, and now I'm delivering pizza to you.
Alright, Mario.
Alrighty. Your total will be $29 for the pizza and $13 for the drink, and then delivery fee of about $30. Oh, and don't forget the tip.
What? The channel said it was a $5 delivery fee. I even tipped you like half the price.
Oh, the channel says a lot of things.
The Twilight hack refers to one of the earliest tricks in order to run unofficial homebrew software on your Wii. This in turn can hack your Wii and run video game emulators, much to the dismay of Nintendo. In Zelda Twilight Princess, the trick revolves around naming Link's horse Epona a longer name than expected, which causes the game to crash when it attempts to load the horse's name. When the game attempts to run something called a loader program, instead of loading up the Twilight Princess code, it can instead run the new application you are trying to run. Lego Wii. This refers to the classic YouTube video uploaded in 2007 by user Kubers. It was made for the Nintendo Shortcuts Showcase. This dude was dedicated and sent his entry out using express mail to make the deadline in time. Did he ever end up winning though? Years later, in 2013, he would make a follow-up of him building a Lego Wii U. Mario Party 8 censorship. Oh yay, controversies. Mario is no stranger to this. In 2007, just days before Mario Party 8 was set to release in the UK, Nintendo announced that the game would be delayed due to a production issue. The problems wouldn't end there though. When the game would release, there would be an assembly error that contained the wrong version than what was intended to be released. Now you might be wondering, what do you mean by wrong version? Well, it turns out that the game featured a phrase that was considered offensive in the UK. In the Shy Guy's Perplex Express board, this word, Magic Koopa uses in his spell, is considered a highly negative connotation in this region, and the game was banned and recalled immediately. Later, UK copies would contain the word erratic instead, and the American version would contain a completely different statement. Speaking of America, the US Constitution. Hidden deep within the game Gem Smashers lies none other than a file containing the first 3 articles of the United States Constitution. Why is this? Well, it's believed that this is left over from a software development kit. The Constitution is copyright free, which means it can be distributed freely. Having this large volume of text would make it easier for Nintendo's developers when starting game production. It seems that Gem Smashers developers left this in the files by accident. So yeah, it was lost in the files. Wii Vitality Sensor. The Wii Vitality Sensor was a cancelled accessory for Wii announced at E3 2009. It is believed that this would be used to relax the player and tell you your heart rate. Makes sense with Nintendo's aim at the physical health audience at the time, as well as the Wii being popular amongst those higher in age. However, this accessory would never be released, as in 2013, it was officially confirmed that the sensor bar had been cancelled, due to what they claimed was testing issues. This is what the Wii Vitality Sensor would have looked like. It's an interesting little device here. What you would do is you would place your finger inside of it, and then it would track your heart rate, I believe, while playing a game.
It's easy to make fun of this thing as something that belongs in a nursing home. But you know, in retrospect, in an era that is filled with so much clickbait trash, flashing things on a screen, just trying everything they can to get your attention in order to appease an algorithm to maximize profits and get people addicted to their phones, it's nice to see something that's more keen to like a Fitbit, to where it cares more about your health, and it's trying to see how, in this case, relaxed you are. I think that's kind of admirable. Say what you want about Nintendo, but the world could really use more things with this kind of mindset.
Donkey Kong Country Virtual Console missing. A very strange mystery towards the end of Nintendo's online services, as mentioned earlier, was how the Donkey Kong Country trilogy of games seemed to go missing from Nintendo's Wii Shop channel. To this day, it is still unknown why these games were removed. Some speculate that it had to do with the former Nintendo IP Rare, who developed said games, opened negotiations for the rights to Donkey Kong. However, our team highly doubts this. These titles would be available for Nintendo's next systems, the Wii U and 3DS, but it's still unknown why the Wii versions were removed so close to the end of the Wii's time. Lost game in Super Paper Mario. Okay, so this dude who goes by the name Game Intus uncovered one of the most baffling things I have ever seen discovered in a video game. In the Korean version of Super Paper Mario, he found assets of what appears to be some sort of other game. Deep within the game appears to be a land full of cats. This raises several questions, such as, why are there cats in my Paper Mario game? What exactly these cats were intended for still remains unknown. But maybe one day, we'll find the answers we're looking for. Weenie and bootlegs. Being the pop culture success that it was, there were many knockoffs made in an attempt to capitalize on the Wii's success. One of these was the Weenie, which featured a Wii Sports knockoff. It's extremely low budget and looks like you get what you paid for. There was also the MeWii, which according to the box is pretty extreme. Nintendo Wii prototype. In a 2018 Yahoo Auctions listing, the public got to witness a prototype Wiimote. The prototype was confirmed real by a WayForward employee, James Matagna, who had seen one at the time. He even brought his own pictures into the mix. The old remote is extremely fascinating, using a GameCube port as well as Game Boy Advance SP molds for many of the buttons. The remote went through a few iterations over time. However, we will see an even crazier one later on. Nintendo On. This was the one I was most excited to talk about on here. The Nintendo On is without a doubt one of the greatest hoaxes in all of gaming history. This was orchestrated by the man, the myth, the legend, Pablo Belmont, who has made several famous hoaxes over the years, such as Super Mario Galaxy DS. So around E3 2005, Pablo uploaded to the internet a full-blown CGI trailer for Nintendo's next console to follow up the GameCube. This thing was literally a VR headset, and the trailer is just incredible. Like, this thing is insane, and yeah, it's obviously fake now, but this was done at a time when, like, no one could do this or did this kind of thing with games. I hear his school was extremely particular too, because on one of his assignments, they required you to have your entry go viral. I mean, okay, maybe an old YouTube, no, that's not justifiable even then. I could go on and on about this thing, but I'll revisit it in a future episode. cheddar cheese. Coming back to that prototype controller thing, here was one of the many early Wiimotes. It obviously looks like a Mario star, and it's supposed to be somehow a controller. You think it's crazy doing a Smash tournament with the DK bongos? Try this. So with its interesting colors, it coined the name Cheddar Cheese from its developers. Good name. If you want to see more details on this, Gaming Docs has a great video on it. Sexy Poker. So the Wii Shop channel featured more than just a virtual console service to download games from previous systems. It also had WiiWare. These were original games that you could download onto your system and play, such as A Boy and His Blob and Pokemon Rumble. Now during this era, Nintendo strongly aimed at fun for the whole family. But the folks at Gameloft said, screw that noise! Yes, released in '09 on the WiiWare, Sexy Poker was there for young boys and girls to learn about their sexuality. Funny enough, this game is actually a subject of lost media as well. I know, right? Apparently there was a full-on uncensored version, but Australia didn't want to release the fun version of the game, so a censored version was released in the other territories instead. And that was your Sexy Poker knowledge. Your life is now better as a result. Super Mario Galaxy pre-order calls. Okay, this one is really obscure, but is so charming. For those that pre-ordered Super Mario Galaxy from GameStop retailers back in 2007, they would actually be able to receive a call from Charles Martinet doing the Mario voice. So yes, you were getting calls from Super Mario himself. Have a listen.
Hi, I'm Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario, and you may know me a little better like this. Hello, it's me, Mario, woohoo! And I'ma call you because I'm here at the GameStop where they're telling me that you pre-ordered my newest and the greatest game, Super Mario Galaxy, woohoo! It's an amazing game, and it's gonna be here tomorrow at your local GameStop. You can come and pick it up at the GameStop store where you originally reserved your copy. Whoopee! Much for buying my new game, Super Mario Galaxy, at the GameStop. Woohoo!
Wii DVD Player 2007. In 2006, a DVD manufacturer let slip that the Wii would apparently be receiving a DVD player in the latter half of 2007. This would be the first time a Nintendo system could play DVDs. This would make sense as the PlayStation 3 could play Blu-rays and the Xbox 360 could play DVD internally and HD DVDs with an expensive add-on. A very expensive add-on. However, despite a follow-up statement apologizing for a lack of appearance in 2007, the Wii VD was never released. However, it was never officially canceled, so maybe they'll release it out of the blue one day. E3 2011 Zelda Skyward Sword demo stolen. At E3 2010, Nintendo would showcase The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword in a press conference that would become infamous for things going wrong and not lining up with Nintendo's goals that year. This was far from the last disaster regarding a Skyward Sword demo, as in 2011, before the game was set to launch, someone had gotten their hands on that demo and of course decided to illegally upload it to the internet. The demo had a timed 10 to 15 minute timer, but it was able to be bypassed, leading to the hot new game of the holiday season on the Piracy sectors. This wasn't the end either, as it is rumored that at a future E3 in 2016, someone tried to steal the Breath of the Wild demo too. However, whereas the Skyward Sword demo was more of a boring web dump, this was more of an attempted on-location heist. Give that person credit, it was pretty epic. The Piracy of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Nintendo, I guess, finally had enough of this piracy and slammed the first new Super Mario Bros. Wii pirate with a hefty $1.3 million lawsuit. So this 24-year-old guy found a store selling it before the intended sell date and proceeded to upload it to the internet, cause what else would you do, I guess? So of course, the Nintendo ninjas tracked him down and got him slammed with this massive penalty. He was likely going to be paying this for a very long time. However, the story takes a very strange and rather wholesome turn. So despite being sued, he still loved Nintendo, and despite it not being a bonus in Australia, where he is from, the former pirate and Nintendo fan got picked as a winner by Nintendo to win a statue of Ganondorf when he got his copy of The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD. EB Games, who he got it from, had no further info or papers relating to him being picked, so it seems Nintendo still had a soft spot for this guy. Freeloader. The Freeloader was an actual peripheral made for the Wii by Daddle, however you say it. The same people who made the Action Replay, a little device that you could use to do things you're not supposed to be able to do in games, such as jump for as ever long as you want or skip straight to the final boss. Basically, you make your own cheat codes.
Action Replay is available for all the most popular video game consoles: PlayStation, Saturn, and now Nintendo 64.
So the Freeloader could be used to play games from other countries. A lot of games are often what is called region locked, meaning that you cannot play, say, a game from Japan on a non-Japanese Nintendo Wii. Gaming companies have used this before in order to test and sell imported games in their stores. Makes sense. However, some use this thing for a different purpose. With this thing, you could play emulators of games without paying for them. You could also use this thing for the GameCube too. I am sure Nintendo loved this thing. It must have been like their favorite thing ever. We Dare. Okay, enough of that song. Okay, we got one more sexy game on here, but this one is far less sexy. As you can see by the cover, you are presented with the question of how the heck did this land on the Wii? Well, you get into the game, and while it seems to be a fun, steamy party game for couples, the game itself is rather tame and by the books. It's almost as if they changed this game late in development in order to sell more. This game was also never released outside of Europe and Australia. It was also published by Ubisoft. One more rant here. They didn't spell the game with 2 I's, like a lot of Wii stuff. I mean, this game was a lot of missed opportunities. Bloody Brawl. In April of 2009, IGN claimed that their spies had managed to obtain footage from Japan of a DLC channel for the Wii called Wii Expand. This DLC included an extreme mode for Super Smash Bros. Brawl, complete with violent gore. This, however, was an April Fool's Day joke, as revealed shortly afterwards. iLife Tech lawsuit. Nintendo has had a long legal battle with medical tech firm iLife Tech over the use of the motion technology in the Wii and Wii U systems. These have been in varying different ways, such as Nintendo allegedly violating a patent with the Wii Motion Plus technology used towards the end of the system's time leading into the Wii U era, where it was also utilized. It appears that these rulings have usually fallen in Nintendo's favor, but iLife has had the edge before. Manhunt 2 on Wii. Manhunt 2 had a very controversial history behind it. Being centered around killing in the most brutal of ways, this gained much controversy and received attention from many such as Senator Hillary Clinton, CCFC, or the Center for Commercial Free Childhood, and most notably, activist Jack Thompson. The controversy started when the game's predecessor had been tied to a murder case that had been debated if it was the actual cause of said tragedy. Despite this, Thompson vowed to have the sequel banned, along with another controversial game, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Grand Theft Auto 4. Thompson would lead a lawsuit followed by a countersuit. Thompson would go on to accuse many of the gaming news outlets such as IGN, GameSpot, Eurogamer, and Kotaku, as well as even the US Justice Department, of collaborating and conspiring with the game's developers, Take-Two, to commit racketeering activities. He said, and I quote, "Scottish sociopaths sipping their single malt Glenlivet in between brainstorming software programming sessions, and also accused Take-Two, stating, spewing its pop culture sewage in the world's children." Yikes. His claim was hindered though due to several factual errors. The matter was eventually settled before it went to court, but the controversies do ask the question of mental health and whether expression and stress relief through these kind of games is healthy or not. Bringing this back to the Wii, however, Manhunt 2 released on the kid-friendly system as well, leading to further controversy. Jack Thompson wrote to Carrie Anderson, the CEO of Wendy's, yeah, the fast food restaurant, whose company was doing a kids meal promotion themed around Nintendo Wii games. These being Wii Sports, Excite Truck, and Super Mario Galaxy, and demand that the restaurant drop the upcoming promotion because of Manhunt 2 being scheduled to release on it. You can't make this stuff up.
Manhunt 2 is right next to the popular kids game Mario Party.
A game that was rated AO to an M, it's gotta be good.
We deleted you. An internet creepypasta, or rather an online ghost story, released in 2017 on the Icy Pie YouTube channel. It centers around a me named Edelet, who is possessed by the spirit of a former Nintendo of America employee. So, spoilers for the story, our protagonist, a kid named Kyle, eventually learns that when you delete a me in the me channel, it is in turn like a death sentence, and the only me that knows how to find a way out is Edelet. Definitely not a real story, but this me character has gained some popularity online. Taiko no Tatsujin Lost Song. Forgive me if I say that wrong. Uncovered in the Japan exclusive Taiko no Tatsujin, a rhythm game where you try to match the beat of the music, I believe, there was an unused song found deep in the files, and it's rather bizarre. No, I don't know why either. We on fire. So apparently, back in 2015, a man claimed that the Nintendo Wii burned down his RV. In fact, even the firefighters were 99% sure the Wii was the cause. It seems it may have overheated from clothes put over it blocking the vents. I would also like to point out how the system was several years old by this point, and this dude was using it to watch Netflix. Guess even the Wii didn't like his taste in shows. The candle trick. In order to read your movements, the Wii uses a sensor bar. This little device was included with every new system when it was sold. However, some have found an alternative method in order to achieve this. Many found that when lighting candles, the Wii remote would actually react to the light that was given off. I believe the reason for this is that the Wii's sensor bar has two infrared LEDs that create a light that the controller can pick up. Fire also gives off
IR light naturally.
So that was the Nintendo Wii Iceberg. We hope you enjoyed this video and have learned more about the lore surrounding this system. Hopefully you have a newfound appreciation for all the good times it made. Our team is going to be currently working on a new video surrounding the cancelled I think my pizza's here. Yeah, I went ahead and ordered another one, and hopefully they sent another delivery person. How are you? I thought I told all of you to leave me alone. Do you have a media mystery, personal experience, or otherwise that you would like to see covered on Lost in the Files? Then check out the Reddit page. Here you can share your ideas and topics for future episodes. There's also a Patreon if you want to donate to the cause. Major shoutouts to the many people featured in this video throughout various clips who contributed to the lore of the Iceberg over the years. There were some legends of the past in here, and I hope I listed them all. Show them some love.